My name's Eva Killenberg. This is my 2013 Ford Transit Connect. I call her Birdie. I converted her this summer and I've been on the road for about 10 days now. Welcome inside. First, here's my kitchen. So I have a sink that I just made out of a mixing bowl and drilled a hole in the bottom for the strainer. And under this cabinet, I have 6 gallons of fresh water and 2.5 gallons of gray water. And I use this foot pump to use my sink. And when I'm not using it, I usually tuck this away so it's not by my feet. I mostly use this water for washing dishes and if I'm filling up my pot to boil water for coffee in the morning, but for drinking water I have a separate refillable jug that I use and refill at grocery stores. This table flips up and I use this to cook. I have a 2-burner propane stove and I can set it like this to cook inside or flip it around to cook outside if I'm standing up. Cooking in the van has been great. I have set off the fire alarm once, but at least I know it's working. And yeah, I really like to cook, so it's great to have this set up, and it's worked well so far. Up here I have a lot of dry goods, coffee, spices, snacks, and then down here I have the heavier stuff, so cans of beans, some apples, potatoes. I use this camping stove when I just want to boil water pretty fast, and then if I'm cooking for real, then I'll use my 2-burner. I also have a NutriBullet blender because I really like smoothies, and hummus. I flipped this panel down to have extra counter space. This is one of my favorite parts of the build. It is one of those things you clip on your shirt to pull out a badge, and I just mounted it up here, and this adds extra stability to the cutting board so I don't worry about breaking anything, and then it retracts as I close it. In this main drawer I have all of my utensils, cooking supplies, pots, pans. I have my propane in here as well, the jar for my NutriBullet, some Tupperware. So this is way more space than I thought it would be, and it's nice to have all of my dishes in one place. In this little cubby I have my trash can, my tiny dustpan, and a little vacuum and a screen for my back doors if I want to sleep with the doors open. Keeps the bugs out. And then I also have a little basket that has my battery monitor, charger for my vacuum, and the remote for my inverter. For my electrical setup, I have 200 watts of solar on my roof, and I have a battery-to-battery charger under the driver's seat chair, and that powers my 200 amp hour lead acid battery, which is stored under here. Under this drawer, I have all of my wiring, so if I ever need to access it, I just take the drawer out and do whatever I need to. In there I have a 1000 watt inverter, which powers my AC outlets, which I use for my blender and to charge my computer and other devices. The electrical setup has worked out really well so far. I haven't really run into any issues, and I'm pulling in plenty of power with my charging sources. I want to do a fun backsplash because most of my other surfaces are covered with white paint or kind of wood toned, and so I chose this kind of orange backsplash tile sticker because I thought it added some nice color in this space, and it also reflects light well, so it kind of brightens up the kitchen. I would really love to have a drip coffee maker, but all of the ones I tried tripped my inverter, so now I use this French press, which is lovely, but maybe someday I'll upgrade my electrical to have a coffee maker. And an oven, but where am I going to put that? So I wasn't sure I was going to put this shelf in, but I really like it. It stores my books, my CD collection, which might be the most impractical use of space in this van, some pens and pencils, some games, and I just like that it kind of gives a homey feel having a bookshelf, and I usually clip my fan to it too. This is a USB rechargeable fan, helps with the airflow. I also have a Max Air fan mounted in my ceiling, and between the two of those, haven't had issues with air in here. I call this my junk drawer because I just throw in things that I tend to use a lot but don't have space for. So I have my salt and pepper, some aromatherapy spray, super glue, a lighter, and a picture of my friends. Van life had a lot of appeals for me. I do love being outside and exploring, and being able to be in both cities and nature. But I think what I'm most excited for is to just be able to meet a lot of different people and live in a lot of different places. I think I'm still figuring out what I want to do with my life, and the way that I've learned the most is definitely traveling and being able to have those new experiences. And so I'm really stoked to be living a lifestyle that allows me to do that all the time. This has been a huge transition for me. I graduated college in May, moved home to convert this van over the summer, and started working full time. So I think I'm still settling into a lot of different aspects of this life, but I've just been so energized to be on the road and really lucky to meet new people along the way, and really happy to be here. So under here I have my fridge. It has locks on it because it will slide out otherwise. And it's an Iceco 20-quart dual zone fridge and freezer. And so I keep my frozen fruit for my smoothies in here, and basically everything else in here. It is full, but enough food to last me a little while. And it's pretty quiet and pretty efficient. So I've liked using this fridge so far. These hooks were a late addition, but I use them all the time. I have 3 different bags, 2 different sweaters, a shirt, and 2 hats. And these are just things that I'll, pick up if I need an extra layer, or a bag if I'm running somewhere. And I kind of like how it frames the space a little bit. I also have hooks over here. And here I keep my safety items. So I have a birdie alarm, which will make a very loud noise, a pepper spray, flashlight. I usually put my keys here if I'm in the van, and some sunglasses. So this side of the van is the couch and bedroom and office. And so when it's all expanded, it's about a twin size bed, and I have a couple different configurations that I use during the day. So the first one is this one here, which is couch mode. It's very comfortable to kick back and look at the view, and the double cushion makes it pretty comfy. And then if I'm working, then I'll usually take these cushions and put them up here, slide this box out, and then lower my desk. And so to do that, I have a table leg that I store behind the seat that goes in the ground. Unhook the desk, and work, eat, write, whatever I need a table for. I have it in table mode if I'm working in the van. I am a software engineer working 5 days a week, so I try to sometimes use cafes, public libraries, and sometimes I'll grind out some work in here. I also have a computer monitor for my work, which I store back here, and I'll pull out my laptop and have a nice workspace. For Wi-Fi, I have a Netgear hotspot through AT&T. It has 100 gigabytes of data, which I haven't run through yet, and provides really good signal if I'm in a more populated area. I think this space is very functional. It has multiple purposes, which is important in a tiny van. I think if I were to do it again, I would figure out a better way to put my cushions, because sometimes they just feel like they're all over the place and just taking up room. In this box I have my window covers and my sheets and a blanket, so I store those in here during the day when I'm not using them. And then I'll pull out my slats on both sides and flip this extra piece over, straighten out my cushions, and I have a bed. This is 3-inch memory foam, and I sewed these cushions myself, so they're not perfect, but definitely do the job, and haven't had a bad night's sleep. I work remotely as a software engineer, so the good part about that is I could work from basically anywhere. The challenging part is that I need Wi-Fi. So I do have a mobile hotspot and take advantage of free Wi-Fi options at cafes and restaurants and public libraries. I don't really have an expiration date for this. I think as long as I'm still growing and learning and having fun, I'll stay in it as long as I want to. I think if I'm really committed to the lifestyle, maybe I'll do another build, maybe something a little bigger, but that's a little ways out, I think. Under here I have storage for my toiletries. I have all my shampoo, conditioner, face wash, makeup, you name it, towel. I also have a first aid kit, an emergency toilet, and sunscreen, bug spray. And then in this box I have all of my shoes, as well as a big bag with all my cords, which gets messy but fits. As I said, I have a CD collection, and so I found this neat wall-mounted CD player that I can just plug into here and jam out to the Strokes. It also functions as a Bluetooth speaker, so I could connect my phone to it and play whatever I want. And it has a remote, so if I'm all the way across the van, I don't have to get up. Above the cab, I extended the front shelf to become a quite large storage area where I keep all my clothes. I have bins for pants and sweatshirts, and then storage packing cubes for about everything else. I was able to fit, everything I need in there, so don't feel like I'm short for attire. It was really important to me to bring things that I love to do on the road, and so one of those was playing guitar. So I have my bass guitar stashed away here. I don't have an amp, but I do have a device that plugs into my headphones, so I can continue to practice and play music. So this is my secret storage space. It's a little bit hard to believe, but I do have a full closet back here, along with 2 skateboards, winter clothes, extra water, solar shower, tools, dirty clothes, yoga mat, camping backpack, sleeping bag, tent, hiking boots, soccer cleats, tarp. So yeah, this was a huge component for me just because I knew there's a lot of things that I wanted to bring that wouldn't fit on the inside or would just clutter the space. And so being able to use basically every inch of this build made it very functional and easy to transition into a tiny home. Being a solo female traveler, yeah, you think about it. I think the first couple nights on the road, I was just very aware of where I was, and still am. And it's something that's always on your mind. But I think that the more that you can challenge that and prepare yourself to be ready in potentially unsafe situations and try to avoid those situations altogether, the stronger you'll be, and the more you can encourage other people to do the same. I don't have a huge social media presence, but I would love to connect with anyone that wants to talk about my build or my lifestyle. So you could find me on Instagram at EEE_Vanstagram and send me a DM, and I will be sure to reply. Thanks for looking at my tiny home. I'm very proud of it. Might be the coolest thing I've done. So if you're considering this lifestyle, just go for it. You are so capable to do this, and to choose to live whatever life you want to.